Hello and welcome to EV Review Ireland. My name is Derek Reilly. Today we're going to be looking at the all-electric XC40, so let's get started.
Today's video is sponsored by EasyGo. As well as being Ireland's largest EV charging network, EasyGo supports over 10,000 Irish EV drivers to find and use more than 1,200 charge points active on the EasyGo app. This works across the island of Ireland, north and south. The team at EasyGo also provide home, workplace and public chargers together with fleet management and payment service solutions, ideal for businesses transitioning their fleets to electric vehicle driving.
Starting at the front of the Volvo XC40 Recharge is really where you're going to know the difference, but we'll come to that in a second. At the top you've got these black roof rails, you've got your sensors on the windscreen for automatic wipers, that traditional XC40 shape. But as you move down towards, this is the main difference here, because there is a hybrid version of this as well, but with the fully electric version you have this closed off grille in that body colour. I like it. Some people don't, but I definitely like it. Let me know in the comments what you think, whether you think it's a nice design feature or not. I have seen some people putting this in black, kind of a wrap, so that it doesn't stand out as much as an electric vehicle. You have your LED lights no matter what spec you go for, you have your fog lights, and then you have your plastic trim, but then you have a gloss element down at the bottom as well. But overall it is Volvo XC40 except for this bit here, and there only are this and a couple of identifiers on the side and a small badge on the back that will identify it as the full electric version, but this will stand out straight away. And I've seen this in white this week as I had the Volvo on trial, and I think white is one of its better colours. Speaking of colours, it comes in 8 different colours. The regular XC40 only comes in 7, so the fully electric version comes with a sage green, so green for eco maybe. But let's have a spin around the side to have a look at the side profile of the XC40. Something that you won't get on the regular XC40 is the front trunk or Frunk or Froot boot. There is a hatch in here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Everything else is cowled off, but you have 31 litres in here, carpeted as well, so you put your charging cables in here and you're laughing. Good to have that extra storage. This version I have on trial is the P8, so it has a couple of different extras like that full panoramic sunroof. It also has these 20-inch alloys which are diamond cut. The standard comes with a 19-inch alloys. You'll see a nice little Volvo name badge on the side of the headlights there. Gloss black with your indicators built in. Traditional Volvo XC40, which I think is a great size, great shape. And then at the very back you have that Recharge branding put into it. Now this is on anything with a battery in Volvo, so hybrid and fully electric. So Recharge, so when you're looking at the Volvo XC40, make sure you're looking at the fully electric version. There is a hybrid version, but we don't talk about those in the channel. And then on the other side you have your charging port, so it is on the left hand side. This is supposed to be red, but I think it looks more orangey. And even when you do a vehicle check for the registration, it comes up as orange rather than red. Wouldn't be my favourite colour now. Let's have a spin around the back and see what it's like in the boot. Not ideal parking positions to try and demonstrate the kick opening. Not going to go for me, is it? Yes it is. Second time lucky. The chain doesn't help. With this boot you have 419 litres. And very smart setup. You can fold it in half, you can partition it out, and you have kind of a sunken footwell underneath here. You have kind of a sunken well underneath, and then you can pop it up and drop it down. There is a ski hatch there, is there? There is, but you can only access it from the boot. I knew there was a ski hatch in it. You've got some coat hooks, you have a light, you haven't got... You've got some tie-up points, you've got a first aid kit, but you haven't got a 12 volt. But otherwise not bad. You have to drop the seats down from inside, and that you can put that false floor underneath there, so you can have cables here or cables in the front. And as I said, it is powered. So you can lock it. Oh, there's 2 buttons here, so open it, or sorry, close it and lock it. So depending on What's it like inside the Volvo XC40 Recharge? This is the top level trim with the all-wheel drive and the bigger battery, so it is as plush as you're going to get it. Starting at the door, you've got some nice Harman Kardon design, kind of not carbon fibre-ish, but metalish design language. You've got 2 memory settings on the electric seats, and that's for driver, and electric seats for passengers, and the memory is for the driver. And then you have your adjustable wing mirrors, your lock and unlock, your lock for your windows, and then you also have your up and down 4 buttons. Good big handle, decent sized door bin, and everything is carpeted and that good thunk. You have the pretty much exact same as the regular XC40, I believe. You have these vertical vents and nice and clicky. You've got that silver dash design language coming all the way across the dash and all the way across the driver's door. In front of my knee, you've got, because it is a electrically opened boot or trunk lid, you have a button for that, and then you have your level for your lights, depending on, you've got the handle down there as well for the front trunk. In front of the driver, you have a beautiful digital display. And it can be, depending on what one you want, it is the speedo on the right and then the drive on the left. The drive mode that you're in, whether you're putting energy in or taking energy out. And then at the bottom it has a battery percentage. It doesn't have it in kilometers, which is a lot of reviewers have commented on. But you know what, I think it's not a bad thing, because when you can see the kilometers, you're kind of more range anxiety, whereas with the percentage, and with Google Maps, it'll actually tell you where you're going, much percentage you'll have left, so you'll be able to figure it out. And then on the left-hand side at the bottom, you have your kilowatts per hour. Now, this is a heavy car in this form with the dual motor and the bigger battery, and I'm getting mid to low 20 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, which isn't great, so it is a bit thirsty. But we'll talk about the drive and the those 2 electric motors when we're out for a drive. You can change the display in it so that it has the maps inside in it, and that's the one I prefer. It's a 3-spoke steering wheel on the left-hand side. I actually think that you probably get used to it. On the right-hand side, you've got menu selection and voice control. On the left-hand side, you've got your adaptive cruise control and your speed limiter and how far you are away from the car in front of you. Nice silver accent underneath. I found them hard to figure out at the beginning. On the left-hand side stalk, you have your lights, and on the right-hand side, you've got your wipers. On the windscreen, you have your ticket holder as well, very similar to Audi or to Skoda. And then one of the main talking points is this center infotainment system. It's 9-inch, but what's interesting about it is Volvo's integration with Google. So you've got Google Maps, you've got the Google Play Store, and you can download apps, etc. A small bit underwhelmed, if I'm honest. I thought it'd be more. I was really excited about it. Maybe it's an older version. It's not exactly Android Auto, or maybe it is, but it has horizontal tiles rather than. And then when you go into settings, there's a lot of options in here which are great, but they're all text, so it looks like a big long screen of text. There isn't any visualizations in it. But anyway, I'm a small bit underwhelmed with that. With Google Maps, you sign in with your own Google account, so it knows your history, it knows exactly where, if you've got stuff saved, etc. A previous motoring journalist, not that I'm a motoring journalist, but one of the motoring journalists that had this recently, never signed out of it. And so you just have to be conscious of that. If you're getting in and signing into something, you need to be signing out of it. So the driver settings that are in here are off-road mode. This one has pilot assist, which it maps, it uses Google Maps to see the speed limits, but also vehicle sign recognition. And when the corners are coming up, it has speed assist, steering assist, lane keep, ready to drive, 1-pedal drive, and steering feel firm. I got in first from the last car I reviewed was the Citroen EC4, probably the lightest steering wheel in the electric vehicle range. And getting into this, it is when the steering feel firm was on. It was the heaviest steering wheel I've ever felt. I was like, is there a flat tire? What's going on here? Is it not power steering? So that was interesting. So they're the driving ones. It has your charging information. And with the charging, it's an 11 kilowatt AC and 150 kilowatt DC. So overnight on a regular 7 kilowatt wall box, you'll get 12 hours, and then on the DC, depending on whether you can find a 150, 100 or 50, from 10 to 80% will take between 33 minutes and 74 minutes. So you've got some charging information there. You've got your sound with the Harman Kardon. You can set all the different settings in that. Connectivity, you've got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, over-the-air updates with this as well. You've got your controls, whether you want the headrest at the back to fold, which are interesting. And they fall down, very cool. And I have to manually put them up again, but if you are looking for it, you can do it all from here. It is keyless, and it doesn't have a start-stop button. You just sit in, it has a sensor in the seat, and you literally put it into drive. There are no, what I can see, no different type like eco sport modes. There are none of that kind of stuff. You've got your profiles, you've got your system settings, etc. Dual zone climate control. You've got on this model, you've got your 360 camera options, and then you have the options of downloading apps from the Play Store. So somebody has put Spotify into us as well. The Android Assistant, and I am an Android user, very good. For asking it directions, asking whatever you want actually. Underneath it then you've got your hazard lights, your front and rear demisters, you've got a nice big volume button, you've got a 12 volt, you've got 2 USB Type-Cs, you've got a wireless charging pad, can be a bit contrary as to whether it charges your phone or not, kind of moves around. Behind that then you've got a little flap for if you want to stick your phone in there, or if you want to hide something. You've got your your water bottle holders, good size, a lovely drive neutral reverse leather clad little nub, really nice and really handy to change as well. 3-point turns. Behind that then you've got a bin, you've got your armrest, doesn't move, but a good big socket or a good big charger in there as well, or sorry, good big storage bin in there as well. Seats are really comfortable, really comfortable, and you've got 3 ISOFIX, 1 on the front and 2 in the rear, and this you obviously got your Swedish flag on here as well, as all Volvos do. So that's the front. Up the top you've got your controls, you've got your visors with the lights built in, you've got your microphone either side for your Bluetooth, and then on this model you've got your panoramic sunroof that opens as well. Now it is touch, but you get over that as well. And it has opening, it has tilting, and it has blind all built into it. I'm a big fan of a panoramic sunroof, just for the light in it in itself. And that's the blind coming forward there now. You can see it in the shot. But it is that optional extra. It is carrying more weight, and it's all affecting your efficiency, but let's have a seat in the back. This is set for me. I'm 187 centimeters, 6'2", but let's see how it fits. Actually, before we go in the back there, a fairly, you're not going to get much in that glove box now, but it's a full width glove box. It's just the depth isn't too great. Otherwise, I think that's everything in the front. Yeah, let's have a seat in the back.
Volvo Cars Ireland have partnered with EasyGo, Ireland's first private and solely EV dedicated charging company, to offer Volvo customers premium and tailored charging solution for their homes and businesses. This partnership will give Volvo customers a competitively priced offer to install a domestic home charger with unparalleled customer service, a site visit before installation, and assistance in the EV car charger installation grant from the SEAI in Ireland. Click the link in the description to find out more.
Sitting in the back here, and it's a small bit darker. You've got this large design, well, on all XC40s, you've got this kick up at the back, but otherwise not bad. You've got your coat hooks, you've got your touch sensitive, you've got the great light coming in, and you've got the headrest that folded down when I was in the front. In front of my legs, you've probably got about 20-30 millimeters, 2 or 3 centimeters. And then you have your net, you have your vents, which are great, but you can't control the temperature. You've got your 12 volt, which actually behind it is 2 USB Type-Cs, so that rather than 12 volt, they put an adapter in front of it. And you've got your heated seats in the rear bench as well, left and right, and not the middle one. In the middle, you have your armrest with your cup holders, and you have a way. What is this? That is your armrest. Is there a way of... It looks like you could get into the boot with it, but you can't. But you've got your armrest there, or your headrest in the middle as well. That looks like a ski hatch. Let me know in the comments if that's ski hatch. Good space, good seats. Like the front, seats are excellent in this car. Good sized door bin for a bottle. You've got your electric windows. And what I've noticed on the on the passenger front door, it also has a button for locking the rear. So whoever's in the front seats, either seat can lock the whole car. Good safety, Volvo safety. You're going to be getting that. Nice seats. What's it like driving the Volvo XC40 Recharge? Now this is the P8 version and this is the top spec, so it is fast. We have 400 brake horsepower. It's dual motor, motor on each axle, and each of them are coming in at just over 201 brake horsepower each, so it is super fast. Like 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 4.5 seconds odd. Really now. It's going to eat your juice up, and it's carrying that extra weight. It has the bigger battery. So there's two different, there's the P6, which is single motor with a slightly smaller battery, and then there's the P8, which is the dual motor all-wheel drive. Prices for the Volvo XC40 just announced the single motor smaller battery, and that comes in after grants of 45,508. So great to get that price point coming in at a more reasonable price. It's still expensive, don't get me wrong. 45,000 isn't a small amount of money, but it's starting to bring it into a more competitive marketplace, that people that don't need the dual motor, don't need that slightly larger battery. So this version, the P8, which has the dual motor and the slightly larger battery, has a retail price of 68,258. So the P6 version, the entry level one, has a 231 brake horsepower. It is, we think if it's the same, it's based on the same as the Polestar. Now I don't have a usable battery on it. The news is just out this week. If it's similar to Polestar 2, and when they went down to a single motor, it's going to have roughly a 61 kilowatt hour battery. That's not confirmed. And it has an estimated range, again, if it's based on the Polestar 2, of around about the 330, 340, 350-ish mark. The WLTP is what they're saying is 400 kilometers, but listen, we all know that's ideal conditions and urban driving only. But if you are doing motorway miles, etc. Now with this P8, the one I'm driving, this has, as I mentioned, dual motor combined, 300 kilowatts. Between the two of them, it has 400 brake horsepower, 418 WLTP, and real world, you're probably looking at about 340 kilometers. And this has a 75 kilowatt usable battery. So lots of stats for you there. I love the firm steering wheel adjustment that they have, or firm feel, what they're calling, just weighted. The seats are so comfortable. It's lovely and quiet. We're going to go up on dual carriageway now, bring it up to 100 kilometers an hour to see what it's like there. But I've been up and down to the airport a couple of times this week. I was over at the commercial vehicle show. If you haven't watched that video already, make sure you click on the videos to see if you're interested in commercial vehicles. And then I was also at Fully Charged Live, and they had over 100 vehicles there, electric vehicles. So that was really interesting. I put some posts up on social media for some of the ones I really liked. But yeah, a lot of M50 stuff. It's heavy. This version is heavy. And the price for this one, as we mentioned, is 68,000 with all the extras. So it is that pro level. It has that Harman Kardon. It has the panoramic sunroof. It has the 20-inch alloys. So going from 45 to 68, obviously it's a jump of 23,000. But I think the entry-level one will be perfect. I'm looking forward to hopefully getting a chance to review it on the channel. I love the shape of the Volvo XC40. And like at 230 odd brake horsepower, single motor, and a range of the mid 300s-ish. Like, that's all you want, really. You know, I do my coast-to-coast challenge from Belmullet to Dún Laoghaire. I've done 2 or 3 videos now at this stage on the channel. That's 310 kilometers. So if you can get from the west coast Mayo all the way over to Dublin at 310 kilometers, so roughly what this will do in either variant, the P6 or the P8, what else are you looking for? So yeah, the torque on this and the brake horsepower. It's just like you're just feathering it, and it has so much power. And this obviously, so Volvo, as you know, are owned by Chinese company Geely, and they have Polestar, which originally was the performance wing of Volvo. So it's still part of Volvo, but it was the performance version, whereas now they've totally gone out. They have the Polestar 1, which was a hybrid, Polestar 2, which I'm looking to get on the channels soon. It's not available in Ireland. Polestar don't have an official dealership, but there are some people importing them into the country. And then there's the Precept, Polestar Precept, which they're looking to bring to market. Beautiful looking car as well. So it's a standalone division. But this Volvo XC40 is based on that Polestar platform. So as much as this is a combustion engine, it also, they reckon they were planning on doing a full electric version of it as well. So they're able to slot in the battery, motors and chassis that they use in the Polestar in underneath this as well. So if the power of this is what's in the Polestar, an amazing car. But when you think about this P8, all-wheel drive, twin motor, all the rest of it, it's coming in at 68,000. You can get a Tesla Model 3 Performance for 66,000 at the moment. So it's going to be whether you need that SUV shape. It's going to be whether you have where your preferences lie. So yeah, so we are coming up onto some dual carriageway now in a second, and we will see. So here we are on the dual carriageway, 60 kilometers an hour, and you put down the shoe. Oh, 90. It is super fast. Like, you are put into the back of your seat. That's 85 at the moment. Not 100. It is super fast. Another thing about it is it also tows. So unbraked, there is a tow hitch available. It can unbraked, it can tow up to 750 kilograms, and then braked, it can tow up to 1,500 kilograms. So that's handy as well. And you'll see a lot of these SUV types that will be used for towing. So it's great to see it. Bit of road noise with the 20-inch tires, but otherwise it's nice and it is nice and quiet in here. And then with the pilot assist, you just tell it what speed you want it to do, and then it'll steer for you. You're not supposed to take your hands off the wheel, but it will steer for you. It'll start beeping at you when you're not putting your hands on the wheel, but it's doing everything there for me now. Tracked onto the car in front, it knows the speed limit is 120 at the moment. The car in front is doing 88, so it's sticking to that. Cruise along here very easily.
Just a reminder that today's video was sponsored by EasyGo, who are now offering a year's free driving when EasyGo installs a charger at your home or business. For more info or to submit for a quote, click the link on the screen or in the description.
That's my look around the Volvo XC40. I've always liked the look of Volvos. I've always liked the look of the Volvo XC40, and the fact that it's an electrified version now, I'm really happy. I think it's a stunning car. On the expensive side, yes, but it has that Volvo brand behind it. It has that Volvo build quality behind it. It won't have its own way in the marketplace like all of these entry-level SUVs, but this is obviously a bit more premium. And if you want that sportier P8 version rather than the P6 version, it's there if you want it as well, with that 400 brake horsepower. So there are things that it could improve upon, but like any electric vehicle, they're all the same. I really like this car. Let me know in the comments what you think. Make sure you've subscribed to the channel and hit the like button if you've liked this video. And remember, if you think an EV is for you, leave it to me and I'll review. Thanks so much for watching.